Hey everybody, good morning. It is Wednesday, May the 5th. Well, this is your lesson for Wednesday, May the 5th. Today's actually May the 4th, and I want to share my shirt with you. May the 4th be with you. You know, some of the kids here at school didn't get it today. Anyway, May the 4th with you. So today's lesson is for Wednesday, May the 5th, and we are going to go ahead and get started. Share my screen with you. So we are on lesson 2 today in unit 6. Our learning targets for today are I can identify different genres of nonfiction, and I can read words with the f sound. All right, so we can group books and texts that we read into 2 different categories or genres. A genre is just a fancy word for a group or category. We have fiction and nonfiction. And fiction is a made up or imaginary story. Nonfiction is a story that is true and it really happens. So a fiction story is a story that is made up and it happens in the author's head or their imagination. Nonfiction is a story really has happened. It's a true story. So we're going to spend some time with our reader, the cat bandit, today. You guys remember what that story was about? What that was about? Yeah, it was about that mischievous cat who loved to eat different kinds of foods. So let's think and fill in the chart next slide with some characteristics of the book, The Cat Bandit. So I want you to be thinking about the characters, the setting, and the plot. So we're going to compare the Cat Bandit to real cats. So the Cat Bandit was a fiction or a made-up story about a pet cat and is created by the author. It was based on the author's imagination. And all of the cat bandit's adventures were very highly unlikely. The pictures were drawn by an illustrator based on his or her imagination to accompany the events in the story. So what I want to show you now, and it's not exactly what we wanted. I'll put it. Hold on. Okay, so this is not exactly the book that I want. This is a nonfiction book about wildcats, not just cats, but it's about wildcats. So this nonfiction text has real photographs. They are not drawn. These are real photographs. It has captions on the photographs. It has facts about the animal, tells you information about the animals, tells you about things in the past about the animals. There's more real pictures. It's a bobcat. My high school mascot. All right. So if we think about what is on the nonfiction book about cats, there are no stories with invented characters or settings or plots. There was no stories in here. It was information. It's about real cats. It contains facts and information about cats. The pictures were photographs. Okay. Sometimes they'll have illustrations in a nonfiction book about animals or whatever because maybe they've seen one in a long time. So they have to draw a picture of it. But so there's the difference. A nonfiction text, there's no stories, there's no invented characters or setting or plot. It's about a real cat. It's got real facts, real information, real graphs. So fiction books are made up stories with characters, settings, and plots, and have been created by the authors. And they often incorporate elements that could be real. Nonfiction books include facts and information about real life things. And people read nonfiction books like this one when they want to learn about a specific topic or a person. So, in our listening and learning, we have listened to both fiction and nonfiction read alouds. So, let's think of some examples of each. In our fiction, we've read about fairy tales and tall tales, and we've read some Greek myths. And for nonfiction, we've read about ancient Greek civilizations. We've learned about the US Civil War in some things, and cycles in nature and insects. There are many specific kinds of nonfiction, and I have got several little sets of books here to show you. They're not around the room, they're right here. All right, so the first one is history books, some history books. One type of nonfiction book tells about events which happened in the past, and that is a history book. What is history, guys? History is a record of things that happened in the past. So let's take a look at our display of history books, including our Unit 6 reader, which I don't have a copy of though. So this is a book about mummies. Mummies were a thing that happened in the past. They were real. This is a book about the All-American female baseball teams during World War II. That happened in history. This is a book about how communities did and worked together long ago. This one talks about castles. This one talks about Vikings. So those were all books about history. They're all about things that happened in the past. So have you guys ever read any nonfiction history books? And if so, what was that book about? You guys have read in Wit and Wisdom history books. Martin Luther King Jr. and the March on Washington was one. Ruby Bridges Goes to School, My True Story, that was another one. Ruby Bridges Goes to School, that was another one. Are there any parts of history that you are interested in and would like to learn more about? Like maybe you want to learn more about the Civil War, or maybe you want to learn more about the American Revolution and Thomas Jefferson and Abraham Lincoln, or George Washington, or Rosa Parks, or maybe you want to learn about the time when we landed on the moon. Those are all parts of history. Another type of genre of nonfiction is a biography. A biography is a particular type of history book. Like all history books, biographies tell about the past, but a biography focuses specifically on a person's life. And a biography may be about a person who is still alive today. You guys have very recently read a biography. Ruby Bridges Goes to School, My True Story. This was a biography. This is actually a very specific type of biography called an autobiography, because why? Who wrote this book? Ruby Bridges wrote it about herself. Let me show you some more. Let's take a look at some of our biographies. So I have a biography about Mae Jemison, Jackie Robinson, Rosa Parks, Harriet Tubman. So these are all books about people and the events that happened around in their lives. And on the cover, on this one, we have a biography of Abraham Lincoln. And then here's Martin Luther King Jr., President Obama. That looks like Mark Zuckerberg, the guy who made Facebook. So a biography tells about a person's life. So have you guys read or listened to a biography? You know you have. You've read this one. Have you read any other biographies? What about, we read one about Martin Luther King Jr. All right. Are there certain people that you would be interested in reading a biography about? Like maybe you guys want to read about LeBron James or Taylor Swift, or maybe you want to read about Steph Curry, or I don't know, maybe if there's an actor or a musician that you want to read about. I bet you could find some on Epic. Another genre of nonfiction is science books. And these books tell us real facts about a particular topic. So let's take a look at some of our science books. Look here on the page. I actually have all of these. This is a book about dirt, tells about soil. This is a book about planets. This one's a book about food chain. Here are some others. We have this book. It says learning about heat, light, and sound. This one is about the characteristics of animals and plants. This one's about whales. And then I have another one about sharks. All right, and then another type of nonfiction, it's a special kind, it's called an app. And it's a special nonfiction book called a reference book. This particular type of reference book is called an atlas, and it is filled with maps, okay? Now, an atlas can also appear in other formats besides books. You can find them online. But an atlas, this is a really big book, is a book of maps. All different types of maps. And another thing that we can have as a nonfiction is a newspaper. A newspaper generally has articles about things that are currently taking place, things that are about to happen, or things that have already happened. These kind of articles are also nonfiction. You guys ever looked at a newspaper? Let's look at the newspaper. So here we have it. This is the front cover, the front page. And it's telling us all about things that have happened. This is about Norris State Park events to chronicle stories about families displaced by the dam. So this is about when families had to move because they were building the dam. We've got some stuff that's about to happen. We've got some history. Oh, the Museum of Appalachia, the sheep shearing event is coming up on Saturday. So that's about to happen. We've got some pretty prom pictures from stuff that happened last week at Clinton High School. We got Clinton High School prom pictures. So that actually happened. And then we have sports section for all you people who want to read about sports. It tells about games and events that have happened, how the games turned out. Like Lady Mavs get a big win over Carnes. It shows us pictures. Clinch Valley Elite and second tourney in a row. It's about all kinds of other sports and things that are going on around the county, Anderson County. So a newspaper is another type of nonfiction work. And then another one is a magazine. So let's take a magazine on display. There's a Scholastic magazine there. You guys may have had those in your classroom sometimes. Many magazines print news and other nonfiction comments, and others may print fictional stories. Here's the magazine that I have to share with you. It's called the Tennessee Conservationist, and it has articles, nonfiction articles about things happening in Tennessee to help conserve and protect animals and the environment. This article is where you can see green salamanders and how you can help them. So this whole article is about the green salamander, which is a nonfiction article. There's a whole bunch more. So magazines can be a great source of nonfiction material also. And then there are some websites on the internet that also focus on nonfiction topics. And I pulled one up to show you. Everybody has seen my little kitty. So I pulled up a website where we can look and see information about my cat's breed. She is a Bombay cat. And so this website tells about like her average range. A female will be 8 to 12 pounds, which is about right. She's about 11. Their eye colors are copper or gold, also correct. It says longevity range. They live between 9 to 13 years. And her social and attention needs are moderate, meaning she can be okay if you leave her alone for a little while. There's a low shedding. She has short hair, smooth hair. She's black. Low grooming. It says the Bombay is a medium-sized cat. When you pick her up, she feels considerably heavier than she appears. This breed is stocky and somewhat compact. Then it talks about her personality and how it is to live with them, where they originated from. So this website gives me lots of factual information about the Bombay cat. And there are websites that you can find where you get factual information about any kind of topic you want, but you have to be careful because there's a lot of websites out there that'll give you a bunch of. So anyway, that being said, we're going to get back to our video or slideshow. So we are going to practice saying some words that have the PH sound in them. So I'm going to say the word, and then I want you to say it after me. So we have the word phone, graph, phantom, phase, phonics, Joseph, elephant, dolphin, phrase, trophy, photo, alphabet, pharmacy, orphan, Philip, autograph, sphere. And we got some bonus words. These are the words that have the n and the sounds. Ready? Need, knee, knife, no, night, knit, knock, knot, knob, wrap, wrestle, wrapping, wrath, wrist, wreath, wreck, right, wren, wrench, whack, whim, whale, wheat, wheel. All right, so we are actually not going to do, yes, we are. That was the other page we do. We are doing 2.2. Okay, so we're going to do this part together. Okay, so we're going to look at the bolded letters in the word, and we're going to write yes if those sound the same, and we will write no if they do not. Okay, so the first word is trophy, funny. So we have trophy, funny. Do they sound the same? Yes, they do. They sound the same. The next one is knock and kettle. Knock, kettle. Do those sound the same? Nope. Number 3 is sphere, sphere, and spear. Spear, spear. Do those sound the same? No, they don't. The sphere has a f sound after the S, not a p. Right, now we have when, which. When, which. Do those sound the same? Yes, those sound the same. Good. All right, then we have traffic, orphan. Traffic, orphan. Do those sound similar? Yes, they both say f. Good. All right, now we have nickel, knot. Nickel, knot. Yes, those are the same. All right, we have phone, pain. Phone, pain. No, those are not the same. All right, next is graph, group. Graph, group. Nope, those are not the same either. All right, our next one is right and when. Right, when. Nope, those are not the same. Our next one is wrong, right. Wrong, right. Yeah, those are sounding the same. Good. So now what you are going to do tonight is you are going to complete this rest of the page. You're going to fill in the blanks with the correct words. We have gopher, trophy, graph, paragraph, right, wrap, wrist, run, knee, and knife. You're going to fill in the blanks to make sentences make sense. And then the other thing that you're going to do for me today, you're going to practice the PH in a word, okay? So we're going to use the words in the box and the clues to complete the crossword. Okay, so a bar blank. Is it a bar phone, a bar gopher, a bar dolphin, a bar graph? Let's look at 3 across. Here's 3 across. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's 5 letters. 2, 3, 4, 5. A bar phone? Mm, that's more than 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. A bar graph? Could that be it maybe? So then you're going to put graph in that one. So that's what you're going to do for page 2.3. All right, and so our learning targets for today were I can identify different genres of nonfiction and I can read words with the sounds. So that is it. That's all we've got for today. Just those two. You're going to finish the one worksheet and do the crossword puzzle. And that is all that we've got for you today for phonics class. I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye.